Hey, hello everybody. How you're doing? Good evening. I thought, with the recent move in crypto, it's good to share some analysis in terms of, what's the outlook like basically from here on. So we'll do a quick analysis on the crypto markets. The majors basically Bitcoin, BTC, and my ETH. Okay, these two. I've sort of started my journey with crypto and recently. So, a bit of a, honestly, to be very fair, I'm a bit of a naive around that, but that's not the point. The point is the analysis and the methods and everything largely remains the same. So any liquid markets, that's the beauty of, doing volume profile in order flow. Any liquid markets you could go and adjust, sort of use the same principles, making adjustments for certain small nuances like what is a good volume like order flow and observations based on the instrument. But otherwise, you could still go ahead and use the same principles. Okay. Quickly on Bitcoin, I'm trying to interested to see what has happened with from this move onwards. If you see this move, this move happened and just a second. So we went up from there, consolidated, and then the correction. So yesterday, initially my initial thoughts was sort of when this rotation was happening that we would tend to take some support around this VPOC, okay, which was and then sort of look to bounce back and continue this journey, but it was not the case, and we did capitulate from there. So and not and then eventually once this level gave away, which was 48,900 areas roughly about. Okay, 8850, and then essentially it was a bit of a downside game from there on once this level gave away, right? Okay, this was a good confluence of also this pullback, this bottom formation, and then the move here. Okay, I was expecting this market to sort of at this point, at this juncture, we're expecting this because it was trying to accept within this up move. I was expecting sort of tag here and then probably do a correction, but that was not going to be. Anyway, that's a different story. So now, having we did trade the down move, but it was falling pretty sharply. So I had limited quantities on this downward, but it was a good move. Captured well. The next good trade was today morning when this pulled back into this range, which was the sort of the profile low. And once we were looking for a rejection into this low, not only it was the profile low sort of for this just a second day, but it was also the low for this composite, if you might see. Okay, so that made a good case in point. Profile, if you see the LVN here, and it was also sort of into this composites low. So we are expecting some pullback and rotation back there, which happened. Okay. Now, again, if you see this low has been made around this composite of this entire move up. So this was supposed to be a base, and we are expecting a bit of a bounce back. This bounce back has happened. Now the question from here on is what's the next move? Okay. So I see two possibilities from here on. One is, if you take almost this as a bit of a reference, 48, 47, 800, 47, 900. Okay. If you are really, markets sort of start holding above this range, then I would expect further bounce off. Okay, but given the sell-off, this looks at this point likely. But if it starts holding this range, we could go and further move to test the 48, 500, 49K range. Okay, but otherwise, look for a failed top here and then rotation to test this VPOC, which is roughly around, I think, 4700 47,000 region. Okay, and once we break below, probably this is the next major area in contention. Okay, generally this bottom may be another test, and then you have to see how it reacts. If it if it holds in another test down, for example a move here, it holds, then probably that's a good bottom. If it's not, then we would look to rotate even up to this 46 500 range. Okay, so that is the plan at this point. So I'm two key ranges I'm looking for. One is this immediate 49K. I think we do not have enough selling, or buying absorption as of yet. So I'm thinking it can still go a little higher, and then look for a failure, then for a rotation back. Okay, that's the plan. If you look at the order flow activity also around that, just a second. So if you look at the order flow activity also, so the selling push around just around we have got absorbed here. So we have buyers still coming in. So I don't think there is much of a sort of buy squeeze at this point still to. So maybe some up move is still left for then try to look to fade that from that point. Okay, that's the plan at this point. And we'll also have a quick look at ETH. Okay. I think the same principles would apply once this base was formed. We want to see, how price reacted after the base was formed. So let's say till this point, okay. If you see the pullback again today morning was to the low of this base. Once we broke below this zone, it's a standard profiling principle, and that's the beauty. Any market you could continue to absorb that. So until we are within a value zone, we would expect rotations. Once we break, that becomes a resistance. So it is standard profiling principles. We've broken below that range, and now sort of testing this lower region again. So which is roughly about, and this is on USDT by the way. Okay, so this is roughly about 30, 31.85. Sorry, Matt. 3150 areas. Okay, so we have to see the reaction around this range, and then once we were able to sort of either clear this or hold this at this point, if let's say uh, uh, at this point the way I see it is, if we sort of hold around here and then probably do a rotate back and have one more test left on the downside 3050s. Okay, in case not, once you're able if you're able to reclaim this and then probably 30 to 51, but my primary thesis is to sort of have a swing failure there, movement failure there, and sort of rotate back further and do another push low and have enough liquidation to create a sort of a bottom. Okay, the case is, these markets mostly work is, we have to see one good liquidation move, and that's where I think it happens. So for example, if you see yesterday, once this happened, this spike low, then it really held. Similarly today, there's been a lot of selling, but still there's not enough selling yet, and the buying has been weak. So buying, we would expect the buying to sort of stop at some point and then look to rotate back. Okay, thank you guys. I think it was a longish thing. I'll keep you posted more on this and also on the journey on this thing for me, how I am able to do. Let's see, it's a new markets, but we'll see. Okay, thank you.